Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. It's the Hood Mystic, representing hoodmystic.com, colombianexchange.com, learnsidereal.com, and White Rabbit Psychedelics. I wear a lot of hats, and that pun is to be intended. Today, I'm going to do a video, and we're going to be discussing the new moon in Sidereal Gemini. The best way to absorb this content is to visit the link in my bio, visit the link in my description, look for something that says Substack, click that, subscribe to my newsletter for free, and I'll be dropping articles. I got the Sex Magic article coming later in the week. I'm dropping at least one article a week, if not more. This week we're dealing with more because we do have the new moon article available. I will hope that people would understand new moons and full moons in reference to the shit that they want. You got to look at life from a perspective. You're going to have an emotional distance between your desire and where you at now, and you can move towards that or not. And it's very difficult to move towards your soul's desire because literally you've been programmed to want everything outside of it. So the excruciating work of spirituality and personal development, rituals, dream decodes, hopes, dreams, and wishes. I'm gonna tell y'all the realest shit about this conscious shit is when you say, I want this, and you get it, right? When you get what you want, you know that shit in Menace Society where they lock the dude up and the detective look at Kane and he got his fingerprints and some shit. You know you done fucked up, right? Soon as you get what you want. So don't one's in the chat if you ain't supposed to be jealous of nobody. One's in the chat if you ain't supposed to be jealous of nobody. One's in the chat if y'all know that, right? Y'all know that. Yet and still, we still might want things that other people have. Y'all remember the 10 Commandments? Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor, nigga. Y'all know that. It's basic mathematical understanding, but yet and still, in our personal development of who we are as spiritual beings, we're trying to walk on somebody else's path. We're trying to get our train of thought on somebody else's train tracks. And you can't do that, right? Because think about that. You think a train is going to be able to get off its tracks and get on somebody else's tracks without no connectors? Oh, today we'll talk about some connectors to get on other different trains of thoughts and trains of tracks. But understand that your path is your path, and the work that you need to do is the work for yourself and understanding yourself. When you walk into the Socratic temples of ancient Greece and the mystery schools, and they said, know thyself, that didn't skip over you. And being that that's some abstract shit to digest and understand, you might think that it does skip over you and that your goal is to pay your rent, or your goal is to flip your house, or your goal is to add more landscaping to, the backyard or some shit. And I be trying to have real in-depth spiritual conversation, and the motherfucker be like, Hood, man, I'm stressed out. What's going on? Your ceremonies is being hijacked by the enemy? What's happening? No, nothing like that. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to get a goddamn patio, Hood. I'm trying to build a patio, and the thing is, I live in Section 8, the projects, and they tripping, hood. You don't got no good candles and spells to put a patio? Because I live in the second floor of the projects, and I was thinking, a nice little deck, I could watch the crackheads go to and fro, you feel me, and smoke my Black and Milds hood. Do you got a ritual or a candle? See, we not going to do that tonight. We is not going to get tied up into your petty rituals and utilizing this new moon energy to do something that's virtually impossible because you won't put the action steps behind it to manifest it no goddamn way. And even if you was, it's impossible. You can't build a patio because you live in the projects. You're going to have to buy your own house. That's why motherfuckers do the shit that they need to do in reference to building their credit and getting jobs and shit. One's if niggas too woke to get jobs. Y'all know, like, niggas is too woke to get jobs and end up homeless just because they don't got no proof of income. One's in the chat. You know you can go to Rocket Mortgage and just get a job and working for that job for 3 months so you can have a place to stay. I'm saying you not even going to sacrifice and do what it takes to get into a place you want to be holier than now. I'm too woke to be working for people. Woke, homeless, and broke. I don't understand the mathematics. One's in the chat. How you woke, homeless, and broke? How you don't know how to rent? Okay, let's retract. I'm doing a new moon ritual to build my business. Marketing, promotion, manufacturing, selling, marketing, advertising. Need I say more? Packaging, automation. This is the real shit. Finances, expenses, nigga, income, cash flow, business. Okay, here we go. Exception to the rule of time. 95% of businesses fail after 3 years. Here you go. I'm doing rituals to start my business. 95. I'm a part of the 5%. I'm doing this all by myself. And the 5% of the businesses that are successful after 3 years are because they're commoditized or partnered up or sold. Business plan. Plan for your business. The emotional expectation of horrible shit happening in the realms of your business. And so you come up with see, some people say, I wrote a business plan to get funding, which is cool. But if you don't got a plan for your business, one's in the chat if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. One's in the chat. I ain't saying nothing advanced. How y'all go from advanced? How y'all go from shirking the fundamental basics of life to advanced shit? So you got a business that you want to get some. I'm about to do some new moon intentions for my business. You got a business plan? Huh? What you mean a business plan? I don't need funding. I'm going to put my own money into it. What you said? You said, huh? What? You said your own money in your business? How that work? You get an order right now for 5,000 of your products. What you going to do? Shit on yourself? Shit on yourself right then and there because you done got all of this money and you can't even fulfill your fucking orders because you got fucking 12 counts of some shit because you got a business. Listen, life is much harder than spiritual motherfuckers led you up to, and that's why you so depressed. Get the fuck up, fill out some applications, take this shit back to 2007. One's in the chat. Before you was woke and was listening to Bobby Hemmett tapes. One's in the chat because that shit obviously exacerbated everything that was wrong with you, and you haven't healed or done shit. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad because in actually doing the work and putting forth the messages, I like to add a little sense of humor to my commentary. But I understand that my commentary could be rather scathing to advanced spiritual beings stuck in their lower vibrational animalistic ways and mad at the rooster crowing in the early mornings while they're still sleeping, right? The problem with waking motherfuckers up is that they grow to hate you the same way as if you were sleeping at 5 o'clock and a nigga woke you up and said, nigga, you ain't doing this right, that right, and this right. Ain't nobody supposed to like me. I'm a damn alarm clock. When have you ever heard a nigga talk about how much they love their alarm clock? So as a spiritual leader and advisor, I'm supposed to be disliked. If I'm waking you up and I'm likened to an alarm clock and you telling motherfuckers how much you love me, then I'm not doing my job. One in the chat. I'm here to startle you into some shit. I'm here to ask a question. Why do this fat black ass nigga make me so mad? Why do it seem as though he talking about me, but it ain't no way he talking about me, because when I read his comments, everybody say the same thing. So is he talking about all of us, or is he really talking about me? No, I really do think that you be actually talking about me, hood. And sometimes people will book a reading just to ask me that dumbass question. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm only talking about myself. But we are one, dumbass. When you tapped in, you tapped in. It's a plethora of things you could ask me and I could give you the answer. I'm an academic league type of motherfucker. I like to study shit. You feel me? I like to study shit. I like to be in the world and of the world. You feel me? I don't give a fuck about nothing. We could talk about Beyonce, nigga. I do my whole channel and deep dive Beyonce, nigga, because I can talk about Beyonce from singing into the mall, nigga. I talk about that shit for a week, nigga. Just the videos of her singing in the mall with young ass Kelly. Like, what y'all want to do? Do y'all want to revert this whole channel into Beyonce? A Beyonce bonanza? What the fuck? Break my soul? Huh? No. Okay? I don't care. And I'm saying all of that to say, when you get to a point when you stop separating yourself from know thyself, when you stop separating yourself from being God, when you stop separating yourself from being perfect, when you stop separating yourself from being prosperous, when you stop separating yourself from being in love, then those things start to take place. But the same way as you gonna say, I'm going to run this race, and then y'all don't want to even throw in no fucking gym shoes. One's in the chat. Y'all don't even want to do no stretches. Y'all just want to eat a fucking... Y'all want to smoke a goddamn Black and Mild before y'all run the fucking race. And then be like, well, I did a ritual before I started running, and I was listening to Dr... Did you hear that video that Reverend Phil Valentine did? About some deep shit? Nigga, you was smoking cigarettes and drinking fucking slit malt liquor bull. I don't care what Phil Valentine said. What are you doing? We doing okay. So let's bring it back to Prometheus, right? Prometheus is said to bring human beings the fire of the gods, right? And he brought the fire, but that relates to the Olympics, where you have the relay. That baton that they pass is supposed to be on fire. Back in the days when they was running, that bitch was on fire, and you couldn't. That's what made it so cool. But it was more of each event is in relation to the gods giving us abilities. Now, this might sound crazy. until you ever seen a motherfucker run track before, nigga. Ones in the chat if you ever seen a motherfucker run track, nigga. It's different. Like up close. Up close. Ones in the chat if you ever seen a wide receiver that played in the NFL in real life, nigga. They run different, man. It's a different type of run, nigga. It don't look real. Okay? I'm not running that fast, no matter, I never will. Like when you play football, like I played football, and regardless if I was fast for my position or fast for my size, wide receiver speed, cornerback speed, 4-4 speed, different. It looked like a nigga just doing something else besides running. Like, if you think you running, look at an athlete run. Different mechanics, everything. Say that to say, imagine an athlete before television and things of that nature. Then you could understand how a person would sit back and look at a person with certain stature or certain athletic capabilities as being godlike. So the Olympics and the winners of the Olympics represented the gods, or the persons closest to God based upon their abilities in different events. So even deeper, when we get into cosmology, is something that we have to look at when we look at Gemini. Well, two things. When you're in alignment with the lunar phases, a new moon is the time where your melatonin is at its highest level. So this cycle happens every 28 days. Wherever you decide to go in your life, is going to be people already there, already functioning, tired of the shit that you're going to be like, oh, this is so cool, I'm on this cruise ship. Niggas done been on hundreds of cruises and shit. Like, oh, this is your first cruise? Like, I have like unlimited cruise miles. I just hop on this bitch when I feel like it. That's so cute. This your first cruise. How old is you? 46? Wow. You never really even lived, huh? You a slave? Huh? Oh, wow. That's crazy. Meaning to say that it's normal to live through your dreams. It's people that's already doing it. When you have to get back into the flow of your ancient cosmology, you have to reacclimate yourself with living the life that you want to live outside of the limitations that you've already given yourself because you didn't know yourself. So of course, doors are supposed to be opening for you. Of course, you're supposed to be prosperous. But there's another level of thinking that you got to help niggas get to your level. Once again, you can't get off your train. I'm not getting off my train track for nothing or nobody. That's why this video is at 11 o'clock and not at no other time of the day. Because this whole day I've been taking care of Kyrie. It's very important that you recognize the priorities of the soul and allow everything else to play itself out. Because Gemini encapsulate that theory in truth. But in true to form, the United States, who studies sidereal astrology, who studies the science of 13, who plans its rituals in accordance with the science of sidereal astrology, in a space where we can get mad at white men controlling our politics, but my question is, Why do we not bat an eye when we reference Gemini and we say some shit like Castor and Pollux, when that is a latter day manifestation of that cosmology? The cosmology is the study of the cosmos. And the study of the cosmos has taken place for as long as human beings have been on Earth. And so the contortions in the conversations that you may have, that you may think are subtle, is completely throwing you out of alignment, because here you have a cosmology, a cosmic story of how people come together naturally. One's in the chat if that makes sense, because I said a lot of words and I don't want to lose anybody. I said the cosmos tells you where your partner is if you are just aligned with it. But if you think that the Gemini is Castor and Pollux, that's two men fighting in battle. That don't teach you nothing about how to find your lover. It don't teach you nothing about finding your lover. And let me tell you something about lovers. It's completely random. That's love. That's when you know you in some love shit. Look at the world. Polish people with Swedish people. Mexican girls with Guatemalan girls. You got to think it's weird to be a tribal person and then just to be like, yeah, my wife's Scandinavian. Where are you from? Ireland? How that work? I'm half German, half whatever the fuck. And you know they mama said, I want you to marry a nice German girl. That nigga said, sorry mama, I found me a Scandinavian and we about to fucking have babies. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I know you want me to marry a German, but my soul is connected to this goddamn girl from Norway, from Ghana, from Botswana. I'm 58 and she's fucking 27. I think we gonna get married. Y'all ever notice that? One in the chat? Love don't have no boundaries. See, love is found within the cosmos. Yeah. I mean, we could be so past it. We could be so past it because we know so much, and it's such a foregone conclusion that these niggas ain't shit. It's a foregone conclusion that black women are going to use you and abuse you. And it's a foregone conclusion. You know, people would say, I'm going to just be single forever. People say, I'm just the person that people just use. And people don't understand that the same way as you got a nose is the same way that you got a lover. The same way that you got, you know, some people don't have noses, right? But that don't mean that you don't have a nose, right? So a person would say, well, I ain't gonna have a lover. Why? Because some people don't have lovers. Yeah, some people don't have, you know, right fingers, right hands for whatever reason. You might see somebody once in a while that, you know, got a mechanical hand. But for the most part, you see motherfuckers with hands. So don't think that a lover is something so strange and foreign to your ass. I guess I'm speaking another language tonight, and that's fine. It's probably the connection. Gemini, the tarot card that sits on top of Gemini, is the lovers. And if you understand Gemini through the Castor and Pollux lens, it don't really make sense. However, when you look at Gemini through the Shu and Tefnut lens from Egyptian cosmology, which predates Greek cosmology, Shu and Tefnut are lovers. Shu and Tefnut are the creators of the universe. Shu and Tefnut are masculine and feminine, and they share the same soul. Meaning that if you can bear witness to your soul, you can bear witness to a lover that is in truth. And as much as life will show you otherwise to this, as much as You might date and have horrible relationships and go in and out of shit that don't got nothing to do with the facts of you having the right arm, with the facts of you having a nose or a left eye or a right eye. You could get caught up in, well, I just seen somebody in a wheelchair. He ain't have no legs. I ain't gonna have no legs. You ain't never said that a day in your life. One's in the chat if you ever seen somebody with a missing finger and then got scared and started coming on social media talking about it ain't no good index fingers. Why? Because I just seen a man, he got his finger chopped off. And I know my finger gonna get chopped off one day. So fingers ain't shit. You ain't never said that. You bear witness to the reality around you. And you just wait until it manifests for you, or you start to do the things in reference to allowing what is natural to occur. Love is natural. This new moon takes place in the second decan of Gemini in our sidereal charts. The second decan of Gemini is ruled by the card Eight of Swords. In the Thoth Tarot deck, that card is titled Interference. See, love and the person that loves you wants to give you a pleasurable experience. And when I say wants to give you a pleasurable experience, they do so at the highest level. This is your lover. And in true lover fashion, you are ready to give them that same highest level of love. And if you're not ready to give that, for whatever reason, don't expect that. Now, 2022, twos represent balance. Now, if your relationship in any level, your prosperity, your love, anything was out of balance, soon as January 1st took place, 2022, things swung dramatically towards you finding the balance in your life. Every place and time where you got taken advantage of and you didn't see, every time and place where you took advantage of people and thought that for whatever reason that it was normal, these things got swung into balance. And for a lot of people, they cannot handle it. Look at the world and how crazy it is for a lot of people. They can't handle dramatic swings of balance and change. So when you study a new moon and you're aligning with these certain aspects, is one of the energies that we talked about in sidereal Aries called integrity. The person that you are is the person that you're going to be. And when you look at the things that you're doing, you're either going to hate them or you're going to love them. But you're ultimately building whatever it is that you're building. You're building a house of hate or a house of love. But you can't help but to build it because these cycles are true. Now, for people who do not understand cycles, they wake up into a time loop. And that time loop drives you crazy. It depresses you and it puts you in a state of madness. And the overall results of this time loop that people are waking in, doing anything to get out of it, even committing crimes, just whatever they could do to get out of this warp and time loop that they find themselves in. And the reality is you're never getting out of the time loop. You just have to change the verbiage to cycle. How, like, as much as people hate their menstrual cycle, that's a very beautiful cycle that when you recognize it and do the study of it, I promise you, if you do the clearing work I'm saying if a woman understands and knows when she's having a menstruation, those 7 days before that menstruation, you fast and you purge and you clear and you prepare your menses. And when you have your menses, you celebrate it, you do a ritual, you set your intentions. Nothing is going to stop you. Now, I'm talking to a person that is not doing that. Be real about that shit. Because the moment that you master these cycles would be the moment that you never have a problem. Because you never culminate into a cycle. You always reach a certain point and you release. That's the easiest thing. But the problem with women who try to adapt a masculine mind is that y'all keep going straight. And y'all keep trying to be logical and rational. When the reality of your existence is that half of it should be purging. Half of it should be releasing. And of course, if our goddesses get on matrilineal cyclic time, then of course the gods is going to follow behind, because the women are the leaders. The women, like, there's nothing in cosmology that is in reference to masculine energy outside of supporting feminine goddesses. It's in a man's nature to protect and provide. And if you're in a situation with a man that's not protecting and providing, he's not even in the space of cosmic truth. You want to do that. Sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you're not ready to do that. And sometimes you need to step away until you're able to do that, because it is in your nature. And you get this nature from the fact that humans study this particular constellation. Because once you come through the emperor, once you come through the empress, you go straight into the lovers. The lovers is, I just sit and observe. I'm a people watcher. I'm a people watcher, man. And a majority of people in life, I don't know, they don't be on social media. They be enjoying each other's company, dog. They be witnessing and exploring life together. And when you're not in that flow, when you're not in that bliss, something is missing. Some people don't got noses, I understand. Some people missing a leg. But you can't say that, oh, it's perfectly fine not to have a leg. You gotta be real and say something is missing. One's in the chat. You gonna have to refresh my memory, because I said a lot of parts. And it's a particular lag, so give me some type of clue as to what I was saying. But moving along. Gemini, the lovers. Like, please do not listen to a human being that is not in love with themselves, in love with them partners, because they using money, success, and people as a smokescreen. They're using it as a band-aid for the fact that they're missing their soul. Y'all gotta understand, it's damn near not a video that I don't get on here and tell people that I ain't start doing this type shit seriously until I met my wife. That was years ago. And the work is like, that's the work, really. The marriage. That's the work. Everything else is a result of the marriage. I would not lie to y'all. Do the things that put you in the space to fall or to rise or to grow or to know love. You're not going to do soul work and not put yourself in a space for deep, true, and transformative love that comes from yourself, your twin. And then you're not going to be broke. You're going to create the universe like Shoe and Tefnut. You're not going to be fucking fighting in a battlefield like Castor and Pollux. That don't have... And then y'all not going fucking riot about Castor and Pollux when that is detrimental to the root understanding of your life. Man, fuck all of this shit. Fuck how you did in school. Fuck your 401k. Fuck your college degree. Fuck how many fucking albums you sold. When your soul finds your soul, I'm not a nigga that be talking. I do talk, but I mainly experience for which I'm able to have a conversation about, and if I don't experience it, then I can't really talk about it. I'm not good at that. I can only talk about shit that I experience. And in doing this work, really doing this work, like, I can only tell y'all when I write this book about my life one day, because this shit too juicy to talk about on the IG live. But all I'm gonna say is, in doing this work and like really seeing something and really walking some shit through that I've seen, ain't nothing better than that. Cause I like to know what you want and to get what you want, and then to operate in a space where the alignment and the connection is not even something that you can help, the same way as I can't help my fucking index finger being connected to my knuckle. That's the result of really doing transformative soul work and banishing. Because once you get into a process of banishing, you are removing the impurities of your dynamic spiritual flow. So what seems very complicated and very hard is dramatically simple. The problem is our cosmology is shrouded in white boy fallacies and fantasies that have nothing to do with the cosmic melanated American. It has nothing, Castor and Pollux has nothing to do with your spiritual development. So as much as niggas talk about Gemini, what are they actually talking about if they're not at least talking about the Egyptian cosmology, Shu and Tefnut, the creators of the universe, the masculine and feminine energies that shared the same soul? And then it's like, well, that's too hard of a concept. I dare you to go to a town and city that you never been to before. It's the summertime. Go down to their downtown. Look at the restaurants, the movie theaters, the parks, whatever people is at. I'm sure you're going to see motherfuckers link the fuck up. How did they do it? Was they all on OkCupid? Was they all on Plenty of Fish? I mean, how in the fuck did, excuse my lack of fucking brilliance and smartness, how in the fuck all these white people find each other so easily? How these Hindu people find each other so easily? And my black ass is sitting up here like Brandy, you know, writing in my journal, talking about when I find the perfect man. One's in the chat. I'm doing rituals and spells to find the perfect person, and I'm on fucking Plenty of Fish at the same time. How that work? I'm swiping left, and I'm doing rituals. I'm swiping left, and I'm burning candles. You don't get it. Tell me the ritual that you did for your fucking ankle. Your ankle important. Y'all ever sprained your ankle? That's some bullshit. One's in the chat. But tell me the ritual you did for your ankle. Now, if you said that you ain't have no ankles, that's because you had a lot of fat around it. And what if you wanted to get your ankles back? What would you have to do? Banish the fat. Because you already got ankles. You just ate too much fucking salt and sugar, and now you can't see your ankles. So the same is true when it comes to your lover. Finding your lover, man, it's all types of people that can find love as quick as they find their soul. Now, here it go. I did this ritual, and I had this idea of the man that I wanted, and the man that matched my energy showed up. I don't like that. You want me to repeat that part? You want me to repeat that part? I had an idea of the man I wanted, and the man that showed up was the man that matched my energy. And this for good or worse. Sometimes a good man show up and you be like, I don't deserve this man, he too good. I ain't used to a man paying for shit. I ain't used to a man telling me that I look beautiful. I ain't used to a man asking me whatever I want. I don't know, you too good to be true. I don't trust that. But you the one who said, I'm ready to meet my husband, and then a good man show up, he matched your energy. Sometimes, men, we see the God in you. We have to see the God in you. We have to be that foundation. So he's gonna tell you you're beautiful. He's gonna be supportive of you. He's gonna take care of you because he shares your fucking soul. It's not like my wife is taking care of me. It's not like I'm taking care of her. We are taking care of one another. We feel the same way about everything. It's an interesting dynamic. I dare to say it's the point of it all. It's never, I promise you, don't let a bitch lie to you. Don't let a nigga lie to you. Relationships are hard. Relationships are difficult. However, when you are in a space where the relationship is sent from the cosmos, it serves you to work it out. It serves you to do the alchemy. It serves you to do the shadow work. It serves you to ask the questions, have the conversations, grow together. Because whatever it is that our people are going through, one of the root causes of it is that you are lonely and you are isolated and you are your own worst enemy when it comes to finding love for your damn self. And then you want to lump yourself in with black men, or you want to lump yourself in with black women. Don't do that. This is where you got to become an individual and remove the interference from all stimuli and all fucking disruptants to the thing that's going to rub your booty at night. The freaky shit that me and my wife do on a consistent basis, I don't know where I would be without that shit, man. Imagine if I had to fucking watch porno and shit like some motherfuckers and, you know, out here dating and shit, having to fucking deal with baby daddies, nigga. I ain't, man. I ain't never going back, man. The fuck? It ain't never a point where you find your soulmate that you end it. Now, it's different. Like, people get married all the time and divorced all the time. Now, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about before I met my wife, I was knee deep into occult studies. I was an adept, self-taught magician by the time that I met my wife. So my wife was a result of my work. Because the things that I would say to her wouldn't scare her or wouldn't deter her. It would more or less, she would become supportive and more involved as we would grow into our experimental phases in magic and occult studies. And without a partner that is purely yours, how is your magic going to be effective? I'm gonna give you a little clue. It's not. Your ass gonna have to get a job and fill out an application. You not my wife is completely committed and focused on me. She not like whatever, like if you understand like a relationship is gonna be hard work, but for real, I'm not gonna have no hard work with no fucking thought. No girl that's like, well, I don't know if I really like you because this other boy kind of cute too. I've been on social media and these niggas like me, and you know, and I'm the type of person, I'm a dickhead asshole. I try to push my wife into situations so she could, you know, like I want to see, you know, I'm a tester. And like I don't never look through nobody's phone or nothing like that because my wife never gave me a reason to not trust her, because she's committed to this relationship. And I'm a magical motherfucker, so she's also committed to the magic. She's committed to the conjure. And a bitch would be like, well, how much money you got? Completely ruin the magic. Oh, your dick ain't big enough. Completely ruin the magic. Oh, you not fresh. Like, now I would say that I see in my wife's something in her that she doesn't see in herself. I could say the same thing about my wife in regards to me. Now let's bring this back. When you see your partner and you say, well, I'm judging you. The more I get to know you, the more I judge you. You're wrong. You're supposed to, like, I know that it's different. Like, don't get me wrong. If you don't have a magical mindset and you haven't built up trust through ritual, through sex, through conversation, through shadow work, through children, through more conversation, through teaching, through, you know, I had to like walk my wife back sometimes, like, well, I said this and that happened, so I'm only saying that. I'm not telling you things because I'm the fucking big bad wolf or the boogeyman. I'm telling you things because I love you. And because I love you, I'm going to tell you things that you don't want to hear. Now, at first, because we've been in a relationship for a long time, at first, it's like, yeah, we'll see, right? And you gotta eat that because you don't know, like as a man, you don't know that what you saying is even right. You feel it in your gut. I feel like leading. I feel like protecting. I feel like providing. So let's do this. Let's do that. I don't know if it's gonna work, but then after a certain point, if you reflect enough, and you judge enough and you start to determine what went right and what went wrong, you start to become more affirmative in your leadership. You become more assertive in your conversation, and then you want to see results. The reason why is because it's easy to lie to yourself about how easy this shit is. That's the easiest thing that a nigga can do. Like, that's what niggas is looking for. They looking for an easy way out. And when you love your wife, you gotta say, look, bitch, ain't no easy way out of this shit. We gotta look at every day as an opportunity to maximize our time on this bitch. And even if it's sitting in a fucking hammock, make sure you set the time to fucking chill the fuck out and relax. Because whatever it is, oh, I can't do that. Well, why the fuck not? Let's come up with a game plan, because nope, you gotta observe the world. It's a bitch doing some shit that you want to do right now. A bitch packing her bag right now, going to that place that you've been doing rituals and vision boards for right now. A bitch said, a bitch bought the tickets 10 minutes ago, thought about it 5 minutes ago. Meaning that she bought the ticket before she even thought about going. And your ass thinking that you got to do a vision board and manifest. I'm sure she got a nigga's credit card that... Money is only an object in reference to the degree that you think it is. Now, you're supposed to leverage a man's money. A man's like, I know that sounds crazy, but the reason when a man get with you, his money's supposed to increase. When I got with my wife, I've never been broke. Never been broke. I've always had money since I've been with my wife. And I probably was the brokest nigga ever, at least top 50. Like top 50 of brokest niggas. I never could get the money thing together. And I'm not saying that my wife gave me money. I had to figure things out by myself, but I had to figure things out. It wasn't an easy way to like, oh, my wife is just this magic. But I'm saying that when you, in your heart and in your mind and in your fucking gonads, when you gotta protect and show up for your family, I done figured out a way. I was selling this was a long time ago. I was selling fucking Percocets to white boys to make a way. Shit would just be happening for me. I was like, shit, man. I need this goddamn money, and this need the Percocet. And I knew a nigga who had the Percocets. He was giving me a good deal. Well, I was making some goddamn money. Ain't nobody know. I'll be making goddamn $500-600 a day. Just like, I got kids to feed. Shut the fuck up. Remember racism? Remember slavery? That shit happened. So ain't nobody give a... Where was Jesus at during slavery? Like, nope. We gonna get this one off. You understand? And then I stopped that shit on myself. He would call me, I'd be like, man, no, I ain't even fucking with that shit. Because I got deeper into my spiritual. I started dealing with my wife. I got deeper into my prosperity. I never had my own place until I met my wife. The moment I met my wife, I got my own place. You know why? Because Spirit said you need to have a house to provide for her. Because this your wife. So, ever since, my wife ain't never been in a position where she was without a place to stay, a place to have a head that she could lay on, money in her bank account. Because that's what she giving to me. Is it like lifestyles of the rich and famous? No. Is it a level that me and her are both having the time of our lives? Absolutely. Been having the times of our life since we met. We've been exploring the fucking planet and the earth. In the name of love. In the name of creation, in the name of magic. I'm only saying this to say, I can't tell y'all niggas nothing else in reference to how to get some shit popping for you or doing some intention. I don't know anything else. I don't know how to do it by yourself. I know how to learn and prepare and get ready for my wife, which I've done. But other than that, I wasn't like, I'm going to be a bachelor out here and fuck these hoes. And let me tell you something. I could have a different girl every fucking day.
can have 2 girls.
I could double up. We could stretch it out to the month. And I'm not bragging, but I'd rather be faithful and loyal to my wife than fuck as many hoes as I possibly could fuck. Please believe that. And it ain't a looks thing. It's a soul thing. It's an energy thing. It's a love thing. I can call any of my girlfriends and ask them, who love you more than I do? Oh, I don't know. That ain't even no such thing of that. I don't know how that even worked. I didn't even know that was a such thing. Is this goddamn Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Regis? Is that you? Am I your lifeline, Kyrie? I knew I would be your lifeline. Nobody. That's my final answer. Love is a powerful thing. Love is a transformational thing that you gotta have for yourself. And even if you don't have it for yourself, you'll meet a man that's gonna love you and himself as long until you figure it out, because you are a goddess. You don't have to know. You don't have to be right. You don't have to work hard. You don't have to struggle. You have to know yourself. You have to know your energy. You have to know your power. You then have to connect to others, but be so deeply connected to yourself that you're going to allow yourself to trust again. This is a new moon. Trust again. Love. Set the attention to trust again, to love again, to connect again, to grow again. Don't be so broken that you say, I'm just going to end up being single forever. Don't be so broken to say, I'm just going to be broke forever. I'm going to be struggling with these bills forever. Don't be so humanistic and so limited to think. I really do love these rich white people. I'm not even going to lie to you or hold you. I love these rich white people because they teach me a lot about myself. They teach me much more about myself than anybody else. I got a card today from a president, an engineer. And he said, call me anytime. If you need anything, just let me know. Because the way that I was talking to him and the way that I explained things to him, he knew he wasn't talking to somebody that was under him. He was talking to somebody that was over him in a different type of way. See, when you are accomplished and you rich, I know something about them people. They are willing to learn new information. They are willing to reset themselves because they don't got shit to lose. It's your dumbass who blocks yourself and closed mind that think you know everything about yourself and relate it to your limitations. And I tell you, that's bullshit. Wherever your limitations at is in relation to some shit that could be completely obliterated if you just learn how to get over it, under it, or around it. You can learn how to chisel your way out of some shit. I promise you can. You look at your obstacles, you look at your blocks, and you say, you know what? That is a fact. That is a truth. And you bring your melatonin into it, you bring your intentions into it, you bring your rituals into it. What's your rituals into being lonely? Ice cream. That's a ritual that say, I'm going to just be lonely forever. Laziness, stagnancy, complaining, negative energy, in reference to your self-fulfilling prophecy of being alone forever. Being whatever, toxic. Whatever you call yourself, and to say that, love is not an option for you. Love is not a reality for you. Or, even worse, loving the wrong person. Loving the person that don't love you. And then get into this spiritual shit and be talking about all types of other shit. The news, health, your business, all this shit that you could have done in college or some shit. Motherfuckers try to turn spirituality into college. Motherfuckers try to turn spirituality into business. Right? But when it comes to love, when it comes to intimacy, the etymology of intimacy is an adjective. It is the innermost, period. Intimacy is the innermost thing you could ever experience. Not money, not success, not conscious niggas patting you on the ass, telling you that you woke. You get the woke nigga award. You get the woke queen award. You paid your rent award. That's not intimate. And without intimacy, you are missing out on the innermost experience that connects you to the cosmos. This is difficult because a lot of y'all are held to be in relationships with, and a lot of y'all are afraid to be vulnerable enough to let a man protect you and provide you long enough for you to restore yourself. You want to perpetuate your ignorance in a space where a man is loving you when you're not loving him. Let's have a real conversation. You don't have the emotional capacity to love him because you don't love yourself. You don't love your hair. You don't love your skin. You don't love your body. You don't love where you're living at. You don't love shit. So you got a lot of loving to get to start to love your man. And that's okay. Cause if you ask my wife from day one to now, she would ask me, what do you want me to do? And I would say, love yourself. I've never told her to do nothing else. You could ask her, what do you want me to do? Love yourself. I know you want me to love myself, but what else? It ain't nothing else. You can't do nothing else. You can't love me. You can't love nothing. It's not a point. It is a law of nature. It's a law of life that as we grow and mature, we begin to love ourselves and we begin to develop the capacity and the ability to listen or to stretch out our mind farther and wider enough to receive new ideas without judgment or to not react to certain things. When we love ourselves, this comes easy. When we don't love ourselves, we're protecting ourselves from something that we're afraid of happening, but we are the one who manifests it, intends it, because we don't understand our cycles. We are outside of our cycles. We are in linear masculine thought. And it's just this perpetual motion towards nothingness. We see it every day. Niggas dying for nothing. I see that shit on the highway. Women just want to fucking speed and not wear a seatbelt and won't be coming home to her children. It's so much senseless death. And we have no space of understanding the cycles of life and reincarnation and rebirth. These children are our ancestors. We just rolling through this shit and not having no cognizance of anything. And I'm telling you, my great grandfather, I never met him a day in my life. I know that man loved me. You dig me? I know that the ancestors love. They love. I know my great grandfather loved my great grandmother, and they made love, and they created my grandmother. And when they created my grandmother, they created me out of that same deep, tribal, passionate love. And the rest is history. This is all of us. None of us will even be conscious if our ancestors didn't love one another. Because the babies who came out of rape, the babies who came out of fucking violence, them babies was the fucking mercenaries of the fucking world. Them babies was the fucking drug dealers and the fucking low-life scum buckets of the world, because they didn't have love in their life and they was completely desensitized. But here we are trying to understand the subtle realities of life because our fucking grandmother and grandfather decided to have a little bit of patience, a little bit of sensitivity, and we think that we gonna have a fucking booming business as some form of a legacy, and we can't even have patience with the same black women that are. You don't think? Y'all gotta understand, when you start to talk to people, what you will notice is that we are under a certain form of mental warfare. That if you do have a sane mind, that'll be the same thing as being a millionaire and never helping out a person get to a space where they are healed mentally, emotionally through their trauma. You wasting your shit. It's like having $1 million and never using it. Cause if you sane mentally, you ain't helping yourself. You already sane. And a lot of this, because Gemini is very mental, very airy, it's a lot of mental instability that is either causing or creating negative experiences. So the first thing, we'll talk about it later in the week, we're going to have to start to decode our dreams. And the way that we decode our dreams is relaxing into it. And really relaxing ourselves as we go to sleep, relaxing as we wake up, creating the ethic of journaling, really having the application associated with those journaling. So in the mystery school, I'm going to try to do something where we could, come up with something where we're talking more about our dreams, especially when we start talking about it, because hopefully you'll have that support. And hopefully, I was experiencing some great dreams last night. I was able to journal, utilizing some techniques that I learned. As I said, I do not want to be the type of spiritual person to say, hey, do this shit that I've never done, but I read it in this book, so it must be great. And I ain't going to tell y'all, but I've done it and it's actually working. So it's basically within a week, if you can't remember your dreams or decode it, I'm using this basic technique, which I'll be talking about later this week. You'll be able to receive your dreams. So that's coming later this week. I need to figure out what to do as far as YouTube, but it's going to be a simple fix, even if I got to use my old computer. But yeah, this new moon, do not cut yourself off from love, new energy. If you feel like you are right or you gotta be right, just remove yourself from the situation, take a couple of deep breaths, and realize that your rightness is your ability to be judgmental. And the moment you be judgmental, you are immediately unattractive. Unattractive meaning that you are not attracting to your soul. Your soul is being repulsive, because why would your soul fuck with you if you talking shit about it and judging? And 10 times out of 10, when you judging somebody, it ain't like you perfect. So it's really important to start asking the questions, becoming more tolerant, and allowing more freedom in your relationships if you want them relationships to grow and thrive and be healthy. As we begin to enter our Jupiterian phase of this 2022, usually you have the first year Saturn, and then we're in June. So first 6 months is usually ruled by Saturn, the winter, and then the following 6 months is ruled by Jupiter. Saturn is the planet of constricting, holding shit together, burying that seed, and then boom, you blossom in the next 6 months. So hopefully you are in alignment with that energy and you're ready to take everything that you've learned over this past 6 months and ready to 10 times it, 10x it, and grow it. The problem with it, if you've been out of balance, try to fight to get into balance, because that out of balance can also be exacerbated. As we know, if we've been in the spiritual community for long enough, you'll see the higher they rise, the harder they fall. Another one is in jail. What's the one dude? I don't wish jail on nobody, but I do sense dirty energy on people. And people like Rashad Jabal, he in jail for child molestation. And the other dude, Nature Boy, he in jail for rape. And all of these dudes was so, and they could be innocent, but
he was real big. Like when we first got together,
everybody was talking about him, and it's not about doing this shit for clout. And I know people get turned on by the views and shit, turned on by the followers, but fuck a follower, fuck a view. I don't know if you smoke crack or not. You feel me? I can't really determine if you smoke crack or not by you viewing this fucking video. So I say all of that to say, do the work and fall in love with self and develop the capacity to fall in love with other people and allow love to enter your life. Real love is somebody that wants you to be in a pleasurable experience. They're going to ask you the question and they're going to do the thing that brings pleasure into your life. Fake love is an obligation. Fake love is somebody testing you, getting on your nerves, bothering you, using you, taking advantage of you, and then gonna say, I love you. When you have real love, person don't ever gotta tell you that they love you. They show you that shit all the fucking time. And they might not ever tell you that they love you, but they show you it all the fucking time. When you got fake love, it's a motherfucker telling you that shit before they leave. Oh, I love you. No, you fucking don't. You would have showed me that shit. You don't tell nobody nothing that you can show them. Okay? You ain't never in your life walked into a room and the motherfucker said, you see my shoes is tied? I can see that your shoes is tied. You don't got to tell me that. Never in your life have you walked in and you said, I'm wearing a blue shirt. I can see you wearing a blue shirt. So why the fuck you telling me that you love me? So the main part of this new moon and the main part of setting this intention is to differentiate real love. Most people have not experienced it because it's a feeling outside of yourself in reference to the most pleasurable experience that you could ever experience. And that person is willing to push you to that point. But you got to first know what's going to take you to get there. And you got to be with somebody that's willing to do that. So, and that's not easy. That's really not easy. But it's worth it to do the work to find out and to get that person that would get you to that level. So, hopefully I was able to pull something from this. And I tried to do it on my fucking laptop, but shit wasn't really working. So, did it on the phone. Gonna upload this on YouTube. So yeah, y'all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful new moon. As I said, Wednesday or Thursday, we're gonna take sex magic a little deeper. Gonna talk about the magical diary and doing dream work. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hood Mystic, and I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.